latest headlines.
Cuban, Gary Vee, Elon Chamath, they are all investing in
NFT.
NFT, non-fungible token.
Non-fungible tokens.
I'm going to explain to you what NFTs are.
It is Thursday, my dudes.
The Beatz!
Yeah, so basically, yeah, you're kind of like the NFT. The reason people are like talking about it a lot is because it's like peer-to-peer. Like, people got into crypto originally because of Bitcoin, and that's like a peer-to-peer currency. And now like NFTs are like peer-to-peer with your like art and music and whatever else. I mean, anything. So an NFT can literally be anything. There's people tokenizing their farts. There's people tokenizing street art. There's people tokenizing books, poems, real estate, you name it. These people are like thinking that this is a whole new economy for artists. It's been good for me. I started doing the tokenized art back in 2016. I did crypto art at first, and I was designing for these trading cards. And then I did music token. I actually attached a private SoundCloud page to the token called DJ Pepe. And it was pretty popular token like within the community. And then like the community fell off for a little bit. Crypto went through a bear market, and kind of more like the people that were into it stuck around, and everybody else kind of disappeared. And then around 2019, Art Basel had a crypto art like showcase, and crypto art started exploding. So then crypto music, people started thinking about there was the ability for the platforms to upload MP4s. So with that, then you could do like video, so people started putting music to it. Then people started uploading like MP3s. You can go to like Rarible or OpenSea or something and just attach your music and do like unlockable content with it. So that's kind of where we're at now, and like the future of all this is like programmable music, like layers of music, like basically like your stems will be NFTs, and like you'll have like, fan interaction. You'll create something, but ultimately you'll have like a hive decide what it sounds like. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of exciting things going on with it. There's a lot of hype going on too. Like you see the headlines. You see these crazy prices people are selling it for. Like there's literally, a few handfuls of collectors, doing that right now. Like people like in our market, we can I think still get a fan base by getting your existing fans to get over, and then also interacting within like the crypto art community, finding out what it is. Like I know one thing, being a part of this community, like the cats are always talking about people like coming for a money grab and stuff like that, like commercializing it and stuff like that. So like there's like an ethos to this whole thing, you know what I mean? So
from creating and minting tokens of my own, ERC20 to 721 to 1155. So I've been in this since November 2017, and I've been dedicated and passionate about this shit for a long time. So to mint our own tokens and to get this BeatKonductaz BKTZ token up and running for the community and for the people, I guess you could say, it means a lot, especially nowadays where you have a lot of this cashless society going on and this fear going on to people's head and this programming. So, there is a global reset happening at the moment, and I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna point the elephant in the room. This is what it is. This is the future, and this is the tokenized ecosystem that they're trying to build. So when we're getting a piece of this, we're actually getting a piece of this track that they're building at the moment. So what we're trying to do is incorporate, what was then to what is now, and trying to democratize this economy, this tokenized system that makes sense for, especially for artists who are trying to license their music, their work, artisans who are trying to sell their art, you know, the pictures, the commercial prints, or even their actual tangible assets that they have, right, that they paint. To do that, yes, you will need a mintable, you know, I would say, you know, in order to communicate with somebody, right, you got to have a peer-to-peer connection, right? And to do that with an interplanetary file system like IPFS, it's doable. You can lock a couple files in there, hidden files in there, keys or whatever you want to call it, public, secret keys, you know, even an email address. You want to get in touch with somebody on the secret level, well, you got to pay for it, right? So you tokenize your service and you put it out there, right, for the public. What speaks for itself is this new industry. So, you know, industries rise and they build themselves sometimes just by social media, just by, you know, word of mouth. So what we're trying to do right now is, you know, we're trying to provide a service where we can actually wrap raw audio, raw video files, raw art, you know, real stuff that gets wrapped up, and that way, you know, ownership. There's an ownership economy out there that's creating value by having ownership, you know, and then the value within the platforms that you use every day. So decentralized apps, you know, you have financial value behind all these tokens nowadays, but sometimes people invest in the wrong shit, you know. So what we want to do is we want to clarify the stuff, and we want to be, you know, we want people to get in on this, you know, not by being ripped off like what we all did. Sometimes, you know, we invest in the wrong ICOs and this and that, but, you know, how do we contribute value and capture that in a form of a vehicle that's attractive, right? So the vehicle is going to be MetaMask, you know, Web 3.0 wallet, you know, OpenSea, Rarible, you know, you got these platforms that have already been built. So what we're trying to do is build our own platform that's decentralized. Even if we got to build a virtual machine on AWS or Azure or whatever, let's build it up, you know what I mean? Let's get 2 nodes running in separate, maybe one in Europe, one in California, one in Virginia, Ashburn, right? Those are the data centers. So we can get 3 nodes running at the same time. That's decentralized enough to the point where we can create our own Pinata, our own platform, cloud platform, so that we can upload our own IPFS and hash files or get those files hashed. So that's what I'm about. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm pretty much a blockchain engineer, AWS cloud engineer, solutions architect. So I've been doing this, and I do this, you know, as my job, the cloud infrastructure as a code. So, but what we're trying to do is, like, again, build the website, which is pretty much, you know, we got the domains, we've got the crypto addresses set up. We just need to pretty much tie it all together and figure out what the consensus is going to look like. You know what I mean? So we are going to sell merchandise. We are going to sell beats. We are going to sell video. We are going to sell audio, raw files. We'll put a watermark stamp on it, and that's pretty much how we're going to do it. So the services that we provide are going to be this new service that's way ahead of these other platforms. So, you know, if you look at Audius is great and all, but there is a lag in the platform. So if you haven't noticed it, if you haven't used it, people are talking big hype about this. Joe Music, you know, there's a bunch of other projects out there that are not actually consistent. You know, they haven't updated even their GitHub repository in a long time. So what we're trying to do is build the future, man. Like, seriously, like, you know, if we can incorporate beats, vocals, writing, you know, songs, like artists, album covers, whatever it has to be to tokenize and be special, then that's what it's got to be, right? So that's how, and then on top of that, you know, you get a chance to artists, producers, to get a royalty back from owners selling their product continuously. So, you know, I sell a beat, or Scrilla sells a beat, right? And then at the end of it, I mean, in the beginning of it, we'll set the royalty percentage that we get. In addition to, after every person sells the same beat over and over, and they run it past other rappers or whatever, that's the sauce right there. So
I think there's a couple guys here that don't even have a wallet or don't have anything going on, right? So we need to kind of like break it down from the very, very beginning. So let me just say this. And Coop, let me have you talk, man. Tell us what an NFT is, man. If someone in here doesn't really understand what an NFT is and how it will benefit their music, tell us what an NFT is.
All right, cool. So an NFT to me is digital art. You can make it a MP3 file if you want. And now I heard you can actually timestamp it with a GPS. I just heard about this today. But anyway, NFT is called a non-fungible token. And it's like basically like turning a picture or an audio file into like timestamping and make it digital art. So you can basically own it and you can actually create it where you can sell it as an ERC 1155.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, just like Coop said, so I'm gonna break it down even more, man. I'm gonna break it down real layman, all right? Whatever your product is, everybody can hear me, right? Yes? Everybody can hear me? All right, cool. So I'm gonna break it down real simple. Whatever your product is, whether whatever content that you're making, whether you're making art, whether you're making music, whether you're making videos, when you make an NFT, you are tokenizing. When they say you're digitizing, obviously you have digital art already. But when you're creating that NFT, you're tokenizing, you're authenticating, you're stamping that piece of art. And it's not necessarily attached. It could be attached to the tangible, or it could just be that digital piece. It's up to you how you sell it. But what's happening is that, again, like I tell everyone else, man, these people who have made money off of Bitcoin and other coins that have money, they're spending money, they're spending crypto on this type of art to trade or to display in their mansions on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Or just to say I have it, or they might use it for their whatever they're working on, their project, you know what I'm saying? So we're just trying to get to the very basics. From my experience, the very basics to do an NFT, you're gonna have to first have a wallet, preferably something like an Ethereum wallet like MetaMask or something like that. And then you have to link that to something like Rarible or Base or something.
Yeah, any Web3 based platform is linked to that uses Ethereum. But you can even link with MetaMask. You link a lot of different blockchains like Avalanche and Binance Chain and all that other stuff. So,
hey, Scrilla, let me ask you, man. So, what are the benefits for a person? See that, like someone who does art, regular art, right? Like, see that painting that's behind Shawn J. Period of Most Def?
Where's Shawn? Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how would it benefit somebody who does something like that, man? Break that down for us.
I mean, it's the same thing. So first, all right. So it costs money to mint. Like I always call switch handsy. Like Handsy was saying, whatchamacallit, it's gonna cost you gas, right? So it might cost you, like, if the blockchain, like a year ago, you could have gotten away with minting on Ethereum for like $5-10 easy. That was before the blockchain got stuffed with NFTs. So now the transaction fees, anytime it gets used, miners are putting your transaction into the block. They're gonna take whatever transaction has a higher price because they want to make money. So the more people on it, the higher the price. It's kind of like almost like, a bid to get on. People, you can monitor your gas, the gas fees basically, and know when to mint and stuff. Like Tuesday night generally is the lowest gas fee for Ethereum if you're going to do it on Ethereum. I don't know why. But you can also mint, you can mint on Bitcoin, you can mint on a number of different, blockchains. I personally, in fact, what I was saying about the cost, when you do anything in art, it costs something. Like if you're gonna press up an album, it costs. If you're gonna press up a single, it costs. If you're gonna press up limited edition prints, 12 prints, that costs a lot of money as well. So your packaging, your mailing, everything. So you can literally mint, whatever you want, 1 print to 1 billion prints for the cost of the gas fee. Like you set up a store first, whatever your brand is, set it up, you pay a gas fee for that. You put a store on like your OpenSea or Rarible or wherever, or a Switches spot. And then you'll mint from there. And the reason you want to mint from there, from your address, you don't want, in my opinion, I'm sorry if I'm stepping on any toes, but you want to mint from yours unless you're playing into what this isn't about. And this is about peer-to-peer. You know what I mean? Like, this is about you showing provenance that you put it on the blockchain at this time and giving it to the person, and, you know, peer-to-peer. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. So when you start, you know, all platforms are going to take a cut for sure, like 9%, 20%, whatever. An art house is going to take 50% in the traditional world. So you're getting away with murder on the blockchain world. Like, you know, you can get away with selling your art and taking the majority of it anyway. You know, you can get with like Switch and like set up your own, you know, platform on your website, and you can have your NFTs up there, and you can do a lot of different stuff for a low cost, in my opinion. And like, especially if you go to like Near or you know, Ghost Market, Ill Bill, and a couple other people have been minting there. You go to Avalanche or something, or you go to Freeport.io is Bitcoin, and you can mint there for literally a couple bucks, sometimes, you know, cents. There's also Tezos has a blockchain you can mint on. So I encourage exploring minting on all the different blockchains, because you don't know where your collectors are, and there's different collectors that follow different types of blockchains heartily, and most of the big collectors are certainly on Ethereum, so that's why they have the market. But it is, you know, Ethereum's been promising this next version for years now to go to proof of. Yeah.
Don't get me started on Ethereum, man. I mean, I know there's I know it's a public blockchain, everybody loves it and stuff, but man, the prices for the miners are ridiculous. You know what I mean? And I mean, if you think of gas fees like a measure of, it's all based on the competitive marketplace, right? So it's like, it's, you know, sometimes you'll get like ridiculous amounts when you want to do something real simple for $5 that costs you like $75-80, you know. So this is where
it's not worth it.
This is where the company will have to mint, you know, this is where the service gets provided, because honestly, who wants to spend that, and who wants to go through the entire process of like having to learn this shit, you know? And on top of that, we're saving you a lot of time. You know? I think
you should probably. It's like gonna be just like using a microwave or a VCR. I think you should mint your own stuff. It's not hard.
Yep.
And you can still, like, I help artists do it. You know what I mean? Like, and we do a little consulting thing. So like, you could still like make it worth everybody's time doing it. You know what I mean? But like, here's empowering the artist and getting the perpetual royalties at your own address is the most important thing. You don't, and I can't stress this enough, that you want to start minting on your own stuff, like, because you know, that's just the way it is. And there's going to be people that come in and start doing that, but you know, I've helped, and I've helped out a couple of artists mint, and like, I've done both ways for them. Like, I had to learn too. Like, I was like, you know what, this doesn't make sense. Like, you need to control this address. So, you know,
you're absolutely right on that. Especially, I just found out that, check this out. I just found out that if you certain mint platforms that you mint coins from are selling their own minted versions of your coins, so you won't even be there. Turns out that I'm not the actual true owner of it, so that's another thing you got to be careful of, which I didn't really pay attention to. But that's something else.
So, are you saying the greatest value, like an original painting, you know, Michelangelo original painting, the greatest value comes when the knowledge is that the original person put the signature in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you can have fakes, and people are selling under the name or whatever like that. But the blockchain records that and verifies
it's your address.
Right?
You could be ShawnJ.eth and have that address, so people can just type in ShawnJ.eth if you buy the name. But don't let anybody go buy it and then squat on it for you. But you know, like, you know, and then you know, you can just do that. You know what I mean? So people would know it's you. You know, they wouldn't look at a long string of numbers. Like, there's still going to always be a long string of numbers, but you're basically just putting, like, you know, a front end on that, like your name tag, basically.
So blockchain in general, so basically it's like distributed ledger. So it's the equivalent of like signing a contract, and everybody has copies of the contract so that it's known instead of it being hidden you know, with one copy, you know, because that way they can see where it started, who's the owner, how many people have, how many hands it's moved through, etc.
Yep.
Correct.
Right on. Yep.
Yeah, I've been doing my YouTube studies, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You're listening to the right people, because there's a lot of like surface level stuff that, you know, it gets some wrong information, but that's exactly it. And then the metadata, that the token is what you're buying. When you buy the art, the artist says what the art is, basically, right? Like, you know, this is a new medium, you know what I mean? So you're combining your art and making it sellable by using this metadata. So the token is the metadata. Even if the image was to disappear somehow, you still have the token, then you have the metadata and what it is and the provenance and everything. So if you have a physical work, like you should still be able to spin up the blockchain node. Like, even if like people aren't using Ethereum in 50 years, you should be able to, you know, hopefully spin up a node. You know, that's the whole thing, is you want to look at the meta, the big picture of this. Like right now, you can mint on any blockchain, and there could be an audience there because it's media hype, or, you know, NFT hype and mania, and it's, you know, it's a fun time right now. But at some point, the hype is going to die down a little bit, and blockchains are going to disappear. And like Hansi was talking about, the music tokens. I looked at a music token piece I wrote in 2018, and every single token I mentioned in that article is dead. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I can't stress enough, like, the blockchain is important. Like NFT solutions on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then there's a couple other developers doing stuff that's pretty cool. That some of it's more centralized, even like Flow blockchain or something like that. But we have real good developers as well.
All right, cool. So I mean, you say you can put an NFT on all kinds of blockchains, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, well, you know, Tesos, whatever. But what it sounds like is that as an artist, it would be better to bet on whatever is gonna.
Well, real quick, Mike, I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum right now are the top ones. And if you did run out, if your the blockchain did disappear, and this has happened, I've experienced and I've gone through with other artists as a collector, you know, you can basically, if that blockchain's dead, you can remint it onto another blockchain, as long as like me and you have an agreement, like that shit's dead, you can't recover it, then you would do that. But, you know, that fucks up the provenance, it fucks up everything. So, you know, it's not recommended. But you can do that. And if you did have something on Ethereum, and one day you're like, you know what, Bitcoin has the best NFTs, and, you know, there's a way to cross chain, you can put it, you know, burn it and mint it onto there, or you can get like wrapped. You can wrap your NFT on any chain, basically. So, you know, it gets a little more complex, but long story short, like Bitcoin and Ethereum for right now. And there's other ones that are cool though. I would check out like some of the other platforms, like in the top like 30 platforms type thing, and look at like meme coin, and look at rope coin, rope.lol and stuff like that, and look at these like DAOs where they're taking NFTs, they're putting it into place, they're putting it into governance basically, and people have like a fund basically, and then they're tokenizing that fund, and they're, you know, it's getting down the rabbit hole. I wouldn't recommend all that stuff, but it is interesting. So you can check that out. My bad, I just wanted to address that.
Yeah, cool. And then just on a basic level, you know, I know that trying to get on the super rare, they have to accept you, right? So tell us about that.
Yeah, so super rare, you know, like it was one of the first ER721 platforms, and they were even pre that, and that's pretty much what the NFT came from, was a 721 token, because it allowed you to perform functions in a new way, kind of a new way. It was branded as a new way. You could do it elsewhere too, but anyway, the super rare is yeah, so they have the most like clout, I guess, because, you know, a lot of crypto artists started there. And, you know, for a long time, like, we were minting these pieces and, you know, being happy with, like, I've sold plenty of pieces on there for like $30 or $50 or, you know, $100. And eventually people started paying attention. Like I said, Crypto Basel, and we had a bunch of rare art festivals in like San Francisco and New York, and collectors started, taking part in it. The metaverse, the virtual land space, all that kind of started interacting, the gaming. So it just got bigger and bigger, and now music and now influencers. So it's like a spiral of the NFTs. Everybody's kind of finding their niche of what they can do with the NFT. And so we were in that community early, like I was saying, and it just spiraled, man. We had, I knew it was gonna get big, but as big as it got this quick, and as much money as like people like Beatmaker and shit are making, like that just blew my mind. But like you said too, that's just Ethereum money and Bitcoin money. If you bought Ethereum at $2, $8, $10, even if you bought last year on the dip, you're up. You could have gotten Ethereum for $90 a pop. So, when Metacoven spends that $49,000 on people, $49,000 Ethereum or whatever, that could have been like $100,000 investment for him at some point. You know what I mean? And a quick valuation up. So he was able to use that money and become like the NFT king basically right now.
And
I kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the thing is too, because we're dealing with a digital asset that's actually moving up and down in price as well. Like we deal with like fiat currency, like the dollar. It's just generally worth $1. Whereas you can get paid in Ethereum. Let's say businesses are accepting Bitcoin, all this stuff. They literally could just sit on it, and with the hope that you pay for this thing, and then the very money that you got, you can actually sit on that as an asset too. Because that could go up, right? I mean, that's because you're saying that someone could have invested, let's say $100,000 in Ethereum, and that $100,000 investment, they actually are, Ethereum is way up, right? Just even the time that Olo got me into crypto and stuff, Ethereum was like, let's say at 7, and now it's like 1,700. It's kind of back into 15, and doing all this stuff like that, but. It's amazing that we're talking about NFT as an asset, but the very nature of using cryptocurrency to buy it is an asset too.
It's a win-win, man, for if you set it up or you do whatever with crypto, it's a win-win. You're holding and you're investing in the future.
We cannot hear you, Chop. No, I can't hear you at all.
Nah, I was gonna say Scrilla already answered my question actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm new to this NFT stuff too, and you see I got a lot of artwork on my wall, so I'm jumping in there, and I'm definitely already in the mind to talk to Scrilla because Roddy Rod told me some good stuff. So you know what I mean. So you answered my question actually, because I got my wallet set up with Ethereum and all that. You know what I'm saying, with the meta joint, and I'm pretty much good at the starter point. Now I need to move on to the next point. Dig what I'm saying? But I'm pretty much answering my question already.
Basically, like what Chop said, I think I talked to Coop probably like a year ago and got my shit set up to like a kind of like a basic level. I got my MetaMask, I got like my little wallets here and there. So I'm basically just like interested in like the process of actually like getting my beats and like logos and merch and all that shit onto a marketplace, because I want to set up that marketplace and have it like running efficiently. But I think that's like the service that y'all are gonna offer. And I talked to Olo too about the BKTZ probably like this time last year or something like that. So I'm cool for real. I'm just here for the conversation.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, I would forget about BKTZ right now, man. BKTZ ain't shit right now. It's nothing right now. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. But what I did find is that the easiest thing that I found right now that you could do is if you download a MetaMask wallet, and you don't even have to have any Ethereum. You don't need to have any anything. You don't need to have any cryptocurrency, right? You just need to download the wallet, and then you can link it to an app called Mintable. And you got to do all this on Google Chrome. It works on Google Chrome. It doesn't really work with the other ones. That's the easiest and fastest way that I found that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is like they were saying, if you try to set up a store, like a storefront or whatever, it's expensive because that's where they hit you with the gas. Gas is it's like electricity or whatever it is, but it's the fees that they charge you.
It's because you're setting up a contract that has more weight to it. So because it's going to be a smarter contract than if you're just minting through their platform. They have to set up something.
Yeah, but those fees are way more expensive today than they were a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Like ridiculous high right now.
It's all the market. It's all the market, man.
Anytime that the market's moving, the fees are going to be up. And that's why people are trying to create blockchain specific NFT platforms and stuff like that.
All right, whatever.
Dude. You all right out there? Yeah. Go ahead, Shawn.
So the question about the gas. So who actually are we paying when we say we're paying gas?
The miners that are mining the blocks of Ethereum. They run the nodes that mine the blocks.
Okay. So just like
it's called gas. So it's just like a transaction fee on Bitcoin. Same thing. Miners, yeah.
So as you
so the more
you're paying a fee. They basically skimming off some of it for you to make.
You have to pay a fee to get in a block. Now there's other blockchains like Nano or something like a mesh network where it's like nothing to basically nothing to get on. But again, like it's not a very trustworthy blockchain because the whole point of like proof of work is that you can't. It's a Byzantine general theory. Like you can't attack it. Like you can't 51% attack it if it's got so much network going on. So I'm kind of high, so I'm not explaining that well. But basically, proof of work is like something that the people control. So when you get to like proof of stake, it's kind of like where the monetary system that we're in now, where it's like the people with the most money, they're going to govern what that protocol is. It might be good, it might be bad, who knows? I think most people seem to be finding out that like a more trustless way to do this is a better way, because if everybody, can operate their own nodes all over the world, then you can't really shut the network down. The software is out there. You can't kill the software. All you have to do is spin it up. Even if a government was to say, yeah, we don't really like this, like it's not going to stop it. It'll be like the war on drugs. It'll be the same thing.
And
hey, let me ask you, Scrilla. My bad. Go ahead, Shawn. Go ahead.
Now, when we're talking about, particularly like let's say Bitcoin, I'm not sure about how Ethereum functions. I'm assuming it's a lot of like power needed, right? So when you have like a lot of the carbon neutral initiatives for governments and sustainable things, and hearing gas companies talking about we're gonna be carbon neutral by 2050 or 40 or whatever, and particularly Bitcoin uses a lot of electricity. Do you anticipate that's something to think about as we go on forward?
That's a great point. That's what Bitcoin actually does. One of the best things that we've found out that it does is it finds the most efficient power. So it's actually like the game of mining is such a lucrative one that to get an edge on other miners, to get the Bitcoin in every block, like get the most Bitcoin, it's like a arms race for how to get electricity and power for cheap. So people are harnessing power and learning about whole new ways of taking like power plants or something that's already being used and like mining with that and finding different ways to do it, like heating homes. Like in Iceland, they don't even have heating system. They just use the Bitcoin miners and shit like that. Like it's getting bigger and bigger with that stuff. And there's a bunch of initiatives right now. A friend of mine, Jason Bailey's doing right now on GitHub, where he's got a ton of donations and crypto artist support, where he's working on a green initiative. Tezo's whole thing is about green initiative because they're proof of stake network. But when you point the finger at Bitcoin or Ethereum or something, I mean, you got to point the Bitcoin, or, you got to point the finger at anything really, like that we're consuming. That this is what we do. Like, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to, make it work basically. And Ethereum has a problem, and I know Switch can back me up on this. Like, their blockchain, you know, it's impossible to keep it. You know, the bigger it gets, the harder it is to keep it because it's growing so big. Its whole thing is it's a world computer, so it stores a lot more information. So it's already like, I don't know how big, but it's like, you know, like many times bigger than Bitcoin's blockchain, and Bitcoin's been around twice as long as Ethereum. So, you know, you got to worry about that too. Like how you know, the bigger it gets, the more centralized it gets, because that means the person with the money or the government or the Amazon or whatever is going to have to run the network to control it. And then we're just getting back to a centralized point again. So, you know, this is, you know, that's just getting back to the ethos on it a little bit.
Thank you.
And you know what, man, it might be fine to make this an all centralized system eventually too, NFTs. That might be what the public demands. So, you know, that being said, it's a possibility too.
All right, cool. Yeah, I appreciate everyone taking the time, man. Our time is almost up. I'm gonna give the last 5 minutes to all of you to ask questions.